Hey guys, welcome. It's Miss G here with a little video lesson on text analysis. Our first paper assignment for this course is text analysis, and as you've probably noticed, you'll have this assignment coming up soon. So I just want to chit chat with you quickly about what text analysis is. And essentially, text analysis is breaking apart a text, looking at the parts of a text and determining what is the deeper meaning that is conveyed here, and how do those parts work together to convey that message, or questioning, was the creator of this text successful in his use of those parts in achieving that message? So as you're looking at your paper, I'm going to go over some steps for you to consider as you're drafting this first piece. So the first thing for all writings we want to consider is what genre we're writing in. This is going to be an academic writing, so you want to remember that your audience is myself, your classmates, but also anybody who would be academically interested in the text that you choose. So keep that in mind. This should be a formal writing, right? And we want to follow those formal writing rules in MLA format, right? We also want to consider, what is your purpose for writing? And that is essentially breaking apart this text and analyzing the text that you've chosen. We've talked about audience. What is your stance on this text, right? So we've got purpose, audience, stance. Your stance is whether or not this text was successful, right? That's your thesis statement. Was the text that you're analyzing, was it successful in achieving the message that it set out to convey to the audience? So we want to think about those every time. Purpose, audience, and stance. Every time that you go to do any writing. Now let's talk about analyzing a text, this specific genre of text analysis. All right, so I'm going to look over some steps and just kind of go step by step of what you should do to break apart the text that you're looking at. So step one, choosing your text. Pick something that you're interested in. Guys, the best text analysis is when you pick something that you really like or you really hate. So for example, pick a video game. If you think there's something really complex and interesting, pick a video game. I know a lot of you in discussion have mentioned songs that you really like. So choose a song, choose a short story. If you saw a really cool film, maybe you want to analyze a chapter or a series, an episode in a series. I had a student who performed a really cool text analysis on Michael from The Office. That was a really fun read. So choose your text, right? Michael was a character that this student analyzed. So choose your text, step one, right? Step two, question what is the purpose or the deeper meaning of the text. Do you believe that the text was successful in this message? What do you think the intended message was? So question those things, determine what you think that purpose was it successful? And then back up, take a step, look at the text as a whole and say, well, what are the parts of this text? What is actually happening here? If you're looking at a character like Michael from The Office, you're going to break apart different parts of his character than you would if you're analyzing a video game. And y'all are experts in the context that you've chosen. So you determine what are the parts of that text that connect together to convey that message. All right, how is the text structured? So we want to look for elements and structure of the text. And then the last thing that we want to do is we want to think about how did the elements and the structure work together to convey that message? And then we want to say, was it successful? Did that message come across well? Do we agree with that message? So we almost want to criticize the text that we've chosen. Essentially, that will be your thesis statement, is how all of those pieces work together. So draft a thesis, go through these questions, answer each question, and then formulate a thesis. And I actually have given you guys a really easy thesis frame. You do not have to use my thesis frame, but if you are struggling, or maybe you want to write out a basic thesis, fill in the blanks, and then your thesis evolves as you draft and it gets better, you can do so, but I'll read it to you. Creator's name, which fill in the blank, right? The creator uses the elements of blank, right? Whatever element you've picked, to blank. What is the impact of that element? And structures his or her text by blank, right? What is the way it's structured? To impact, right? What is that structural impact? And together these achieve the conveying of the message blank, right? So I hope that makes sense. I am gonna post the script to this video tutorial so you can see the frame and see kind of how it works. But we want to address, who is the creator of this text? Was it the producers of The Office? What elements make up that context? Is it the silliness of the character and the caring, and how is that structured, right? And in a mundane setting, right? Like the show of The Office, we want to think about those things. And then what are those the impact of those various elements and structures, and put those together in your thesis, and then build your paper, your writing assignment, your analysis, to explain those various parts. I think you guys are going to do an awesome job with this. I cannot wait to see what you come up with. So let's get analyzing text.